Hello and welcome to my Facebook Live. My name is Chetan Parkyn. Today I'm going to talk about the Sacral Center, the center that gives us the life force in the human design system. The foundational law of this universe declares that life begets more life, and life force that makes this possible comes from the Sacral Center in what in human design has been called the generator center. Most people have this sacral center defined, turned on, running consistently. We call them generators or manifesting generators, two completely different types of design, and I will explain presently what I mean about this. Statistically, about 36% of the world's population are generators, 31% manifesting generators. For the rest of us, including all manifestors, projectors and reflectors who do not have this sacral generator center activated, we find ourselves in a minority and need to be very watchful that we don't get swept up with the majority's way of acting in life. Returning to the fact that life begets more life, the sacral center is generating the energy that expands life force in our world. This life force is generated through all life forms, whether that be through bacteria, viruses that have a limited, extremely potent potential affecting us in our lives. They have a connection to the sacral center. And also plants, insects, birds, reptiles, fish and mammals that all have increasing levels of potential connections to the sacral center, to this center of life force energy in their designs. The sacral center has, for humans, 9 gates and 11 potential connections to all other centers except the mind and the crown centers. For life to expand, the process in our world happens through what can be described as cross-pollination, and a fertilization process where the life force is dispersed, transmitted, pollinated, seeded or transferred from the sacral center to one or more of the other centers. In the human realm, the obvious new life cross-pollination happens through gate 59, called intimacy or dispersion, that connects to gate 6, called resolution of conflict or friction, in the emotion center, and through which fertilization and procreation takes place energetically. For plants, the cross-pollination happens through gate 5, called waiting or universal timing, in that there is a perfect and natural timing for a flower, for example, to be fertilized. This happens through pollen traveling in the wind or being distributed by birds, butterflies, hummingbirds, and in other ways in which pollen is moved from the stamen to the stigma of the flower and setting up the process of creating offspring for the next generations. Of the 9 gates in the sacral center, 8 of them are inherently sexual in nature and cross-pollinate. 1 gate does not. This is gateway number 34, the gateway of power and great strength. And this gate is a source of raw, personal, individual energy, neither male nor female. This raw energy is asexual and is often misread in how its inherent power is expressed. Of the 9 gates, gate 34 has the potential to connect to the throat center at gate number 20, called the now, through the channel of being busy, 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 constantly accomplishing. It also connects to the self center through gateway number 10 of behaviors, through the channel of following personal convictions. It also connects to the spleen center through gateway number 57 of intuitive awareness, and through what I've come to call the channel of resurrection. Gate 27 on the left side of the sacral center, called nourishment, provides life force energy towards the protection and nurturing of life, and when combined with gate 50 of values at the spleen center, energizes the channel of caregiving and caretaking, and the reinvigoration of health and well-being. Gate 42, called growth and increase, in the bottom left corner of the sacral center, has the potential to expand our life experiences. People with this gate always have the means to raise life's potentials by bringing us into uplifting experiences. When combined with gate 53, new beginnings, it opens cycles of life in which there are commencements, continuance, and finally conclusions to all our experiences. Those with gate 3, called implementing the new, are natural and often independent innovators. Getting other people to see the merits of innovation can be daunting until you're really clear in what you're proposing. The combination with gate 60, called limitations, through the channel of mutation, the 360, brings about dramatic transformations that almost always go outside traditional norms. Gate 9 of applied details is constantly acquiring relevant and also irrelevant features of our lives in pursuit of making good choices for the future. When combined with gate 52, called mountain and stillness, this channel assures substantial growth. Gate 59, that we've already looked at, called intimacy and dispersion, provides the creative energy for reproduction and new children, as well as the birthing of creative endeavors that benefit the expansion of humanity through gate 6 of friction. Gate 29 of commitment provides a strong yes for life force energy to take us with totality into new experiences. The connection through gate 46, serendipity and self-determination, at the self center opens a tantric channel through which life force transmutes the sacral into a higher form. Those who have this channel defined in their designs are a sight to behold when they get completely involved with something. Gate 14, called prosperity and harvesting, gives us appreciation for our material world and how to grow and receive the benefits within it. Connecting to gate 2, receptivity at the self center, creates another of these tantric channels, this one called the alchemist, that raises the frequency of matter from a low form to a higher one, changing base metal into gold. And gate 5, the gate of waiting, relating to the natural times of the universe, opens us to the seasons of life. This is the gateway that connects into all life forms. It is the gateway of the gardener and the forester and the weatherman. It is the gate that tells the birds to fly south and the plants to sprout and the fish to spawn. When connected to gate 15 at the self center in the human design chart, it creates the third tantric channel that transmutes and rearranges time. If you have this channel in your design, don't let anyone mess with your timing. For anyone who has the sacral center defined and activated, it is essential to know how to use your extraordinary energy in a right way. Before human design came along, generators and manifesting generators have been unwittingly encouraged to use their energy indiscriminately. And because the life force keeps generating, their tremendous endurance and staying power has been used in all manner of human endeavors. Great feats of construction and agriculture have been accomplished by the continuous use of life force energy. However, without a clear indication of what this life force energy is for personally, much of the labors of generators and manifesting generators have in the past often become a drudgery for them. With the coming of human design, this need no longer be the case. The sacral center has a natural reflux. This reflux can be described as a gut response, a movement of energy from the lower belly in response to whatever life is offering. A gut response has two possibilities. Yes, when the energy rises in response, and not now, if the energy remains still or it drops. This gut response has nothing to do with mental input. It is an energetic response that happens ultimately in response to the universe and whatever it is that's being offered in life. If in your design you have emotional authority, you are encouraged to pay attention to your feelings and to find that still point within them that are not attached to any potential outcomes, but which are just clear, still, and sure. So with emotional authority, a gut response is combined with your emotional clarity. An initial yes may well be tempered by a feeling that is not quite clear, which means you wait for another gut response to check. So what is the difference between a generator's and a manifesting generator's design? If you have a generator design, any gut response of yes is enough to indicate that you have energy available for someone or something. A clear gut response that also includes your emotional clarity, if you have emotional authority, means move on it. And once committed, Sooner or later, you'll need a course correction to know if your energy is still aligned with what you are doing. For a generator, this is an important part of your life, to keep checking with your gut response and clarity, to know whether you have energy and interest to continue with your endeavors, and to know if you're on course, rather than carrying on blindly in ways that will eventually lead you to finding yourself frustrated and even bored. A heads up, every now and again, a review of your gut response every now and again can open up all kinds of new options for you. For the manifesting generator, your gut response is essential before you do anything. A clear yes gut response that includes your emotional clarity if you have emotional authority indicates the potential interest to engage with someone or something, and yet not necessarily indicating total commitment right away. It's rather like changing gears in a car manually. The initial clarity to engage be like putting yourself in first gear and checking out if you are truly engaged. If you are, slip into second gear, increasing your involvement. If that still sits well with you, try third gear, all the time testing within yourself if you are truly aligned with what you're engaged with and what you're doing. If you keep going on like this, there will come what can be described as a moment of truth, in which you will either commit 100% and manifest whatever you're involved in, or drop everything. With a clear yes, you will engage with the combined generator life force energy behind you, become virtually unstoppable, and without having the need for any further gut response or course corrections. You become a manifester with great momentum and great energy reserves. Or, if in that moment of truth you come to realize that you're not aligned with what you're doing, you'll need to stop everything and wait for another gut response to draw your attention to something else altogether. In the former situation, you are a sight to behold in your achievements and your style. In the latter, you can save yourself and others a lot of time and frustration by quitting before you fully engage with something that ultimately doesn't serve. But be aware that you can also confuse those people who had an expectation you were going to achieve something great with or for them. If you have an undefined sacral center, you are surrounded by people who have tremendous energy reserves. And although you can engage, you will come to appreciate you do not have those same reserves. You cannot keep up. Ultimately, if you have a projector or a reflector design, you might be called on to give guidance. But there is no need to get in the way of a generator or a manifesting generator going full speed, because you will be run over. And trying to keep up will exhaust you and confuse you. Let these people do their wonderful thing. If you have a manifestor design, you might initially be able to keep up, but eventually you'll come to see a different way to engage with life in which you can emerge your gifts, but leave most of the laborious efforts to those with defined sacral centers. That is their way. If you have an open sacral center, enjoy the mysteries of life. Be content to watch the games that are played out in life, and how life is always pushing for expansion and regeneration. You might become fascinated in the cross-pollinations you see going on around you, but always trust your own authority before committing to extensive involvement in anything. In the next talk, we'll have a look at the root center at the bottom of the human design life chart and the source of the pressures to be involved in life itself. Until then, have a great week. See you again next time. Bye for now.